Welcome to another segment of the story behind the shot. This segment is about a photograph entitled The Praying Man that was taken in Varanasi, India during February of 1997. Every morning there is a gorgeous sunrise on the other side of the river. We're now going into another one of the private rooms at Halle. This one is a room that is very well known to me. It is a room in which the principal owner, a wonderful woman named Janice Cathy, does her work. And Janice has been an unbelievably wonderful person in my life. I had both my knees replaced a number of years ago, and she has been spectacularly wonderful in helping me recover from that. The subject of today's segment is a shot that I call The Praying Man. And this is probably going to be the segment that gives me the most pleasure to talk about, because this is certainly my favorite shot that I've ever taken in India, and it may in fact be my favorite shot that I've ever taken. This particular image symbolizes for me how India is my spiritual home. And it was taken in 1997. It was taken on Kodacolor print film. And this was taken early in the morning. At the start of this segment, I have shown you an image of what the sun looks like rising. In that particular image, there is a young man doing a prayer ceremony that's called a puja. Every morning there is this golden ball that rises up over the other side of the river. After sunrise, I was walking along the river. There's a way of walking for miles along the river, and it's probably about 7 o'clock in the morning, maybe 6:30. The sun had already risen. It was not yet very far up in the sky, and I turned from the river and I saw a man approaching me, and this man was so incredibly thin, fit, but minus 15% body fat. I could see his ribs, but he was fit. And from a distance, I saw him, he saw me, we smiled at each other, an unusual smile. And there was a warmth and a sense of connection between us, and I pranamed. And that pranam, one says namaste, and it means I honor that aspect of God that resides in you. And he pranamed back, and our smiles became deeper. And I cannot account for what that sense of connection was that I was feeling. He walked right up to about 8 feet away from me. He was, if this is the river, he was standing to my right. He walked over. He had only a shawl. He was wearing something called a lungi, which is just a long piece of cloth that is tied at the waist. And what he is doing is, he is pranaming to the rising sun, which at that moment represents an aspect of God. And he was honoring God at that moment. And he was honoring it in a way that I could believe. There was no pretense. He wasn't doing this for any show. There was no social contact that he was making in order to make his next business deal while he was at a church or synagogue. He was in a state of communion with his God. And I just loved that moment. And when I took the shot, I knew I had it. this was the days before digital cameras, so I had no way of checking the back of the camera to see it, but I intuitively knew that I got the shot that I wanted. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to show it to him, nor was I able to send him a copy of it. I did not get his name or address. But every morning, there are thousands of people at the river, bathing, praying, fooling around with each other. It is such a wonderful sense of community and communion. It's just amazing. And so, this is the praying man. Namaste.